Welcome back to the Future Leaders podcast. We help you gain insights into the minds of successful business owners. Today I'm joined here with the closers cult leader, Orlando Santucci. How are you, mate?
Amazing. I'm so happy you pronounced my name right.
We've done it. We've
done it.
We're off to a good start.
So from all the thousands of sales calls you've done and training of even more, what is it from 15 seconds on the phone with somebody where you know they're an elite closer versus just somebody who's trying to figure it out?
Well, 15 seconds is a short time, but if I was judging off 15 seconds, I'd be looking at their demeanor and their body language. So I can tell pretty quickly if someone's confident or not. So that's what I'd be looking for in 15 seconds is just how confident they are, how they present, how they speak, their body language. A lot of closers, when they start off, they like fumble a lot, they fidget, they'll have something in their hands, they're moving back and forth, you know, they're constantly adjusting their chair and it just like shows that they're uncomfortable. So that's what I look for in 15 seconds.
So tell us more about Closers Cult. What is it about and how do you help people become the best closers?
Yeah, so essentially I help guys transition into high ticket sales, remote sales, so they can make really good money. I mean, I have a 19-year-old who did 15K last month, same as Ellis, and that was after 4 months training with me. So yeah, going from pretty much like no background, no skill, no experience to making a bunch of money, traveling the world, working remote, and yeah, just having choice. I think that's really important for young people.
How long ago did you get into building out and starting out in your sales journey?
So I started 5 years ago in 2020, right after COVID basically.
Yeah.
And I got into it accidentally, but that was the first sales gig I had. And then I started coaching about a year ago. Yeah.
So what does Closers Cult actually teach people? Because obviously it's all about sales. It's all about giving them the skills. Is there anything specific that you can share that you like hone in on, or like the 80-20 rule with sales?
Yeah. So it depends where someone's at. Like if someone's brand new, about 70% of it is getting them onto an offer first. Because what a lot of trainers do, like when they're teaching someone from the beginning, is they'll focus super heavy on skills, which yes is important, but when someone's starting off, the biggest thing is their mindset. And the skills are going to come when they're on an offer and they can have real reps. What happens a lot of times is they'll role play. They'll learn all the scripts, all the tonality, all the objection handling. Then they get onto an offer and it's like this big moment and then they freeze up and they lose all confidence. They forget everything they've learned.
Yeah.
So my thing is let's integrate you into a role ASAP Rocky. And then while you're on the role, let's develop you there and get your skills up. But then in terms of what I teach them, biggest thing is being genuine, like just not being a robot, because there's so much sales training. There's so many gimmicks. There's so many tactics. There's so many word tracks you see when you're scrolling on Instagram. And the biggest thing people want right now with AI, with automation, is a human, someone that can just actually understand where they're at. So that's the biggest thing, is like presence, being genuine. Then you've got tactics like what questions you ask, knowing why you ask questions, knowing what answers you're looking for. But it starts off with the intention to have a genuine conversation.
So you mentioned you try to get them into those sales roles. Is that like working for a BDM for another company, or is it them going immediately into remote sales?
Straight into remote sales.
Okay.
So it depends. Some people start off as an appointment setter where they're just booking the leads for a closer to then close a deal. Some start off as a closer. I don't have a set rule. I play it case by case. Like if someone's, you know, a basement boy that's like, you know, living with their mum and they just play video games all day and they're like getting into sales, I might start them off in a setter role. If someone is, you know, they've had life experience, they've traveled, they've had highs and lows in their life, they can actually converse properly, I probably just move them straight into a closer role. So it's case by case.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you were working as a Maccas employee for, how long were you at Maccas for?
4 years.
4 years. Were you made redundant during COVID to go into your sales journey?
No,
Or
so
you just called it, you're just like, nah, I've had enough?
pretty much. Yeah, so I finished high school and then constantly throughout school, my family, my friends, teachers, what are you going to do when you finish school? What are you going to do when you grow up? And I just never had an answer. So finally I came up with an answer, which was to be a quantity surveyor. So I studied construction management for 4 weeks, COVID hit 4 weeks in, we went online, and I remember just studying, like looking at the screen and the online lecture, and I was just thinking like, fuck this. Like there's no way I'm set up to do this. I just couldn't see it. And so in that moment, I started looking at like ways to make money. I saw things like drop shipping, starting an agency. I saw Mangadzi, like I saw all the typical stuff people see. I was very close to getting into drop shipping, but I ended up joining my first mentor, Jason Capital.
Okay.
And so that taught me to like DM set basically. And I started selling Instagram shout out campaigns. So I did that for about 9 months while working at McDonald's, and that allowed me to quit. And basically when I decided to quit was I like had one shift in particular where I was at work and it was like a 6 a.m. start. So I got up at 5, drove to work. And for some reason that day I was just in a shit mood. And they put me at top window, which is like, it's essentially drive-through where you're the one taking the orders. It's like, hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get for you? Constantly. And I just hated my life. Like I was genuinely so like pissed off that I was doing that when I knew there was potential for more. And I got to a point where I was like being kind of bitchy to the customers. And my manager came, he was like, hey man, like, is everything all right? Like you normally not like this. And I was like, yeah, like it's good. It's fine. You know, just played it off. And I was like on the brink of like crying at work. Like I was just so sad. I hated it so much. And so at that point I was like, okay, I need to like actually just put as much effort as I can into sales. So I started reading more books on it. I started training more, watching YouTube. And then I made $900 in a single day. So I got 2 sales. I made $900, which was more than what I was making a week at Maccas. And I quit the next day. Now, keep in mind, I just moved out of my parents' house into a rental, and I had about $1,000 savings. So I quit the next day because I was like, I'm just going to put myself in a position where I have to make this work. And that's when I made the transition.
That's really incredible because from what we've identified with the events that we run and how many people can like come through our system is that people in like out of high school, they don't know what they want to do. They know that they're capable for more, but they're in that position where they're just like lost or stuck. Like they're just going through life just in Maccas. And it's like, what can I actually do? There's more out there for me. And I think that for you to identify that like exact moment where you did have to go all in and you put yourself in that position, you just say like, look, I'm just going to burn the bridge. Whatever happens, I know that I'm capable to do it. This is how I'm going to do it. So talk me through that like mindset of like, okay, you've left Maccas now. What's next? What's Orlando feeling? He's got $1,000 in his bank account. He's sit at home with his new rental, not really have any clue how to actually sell yet.
Yeah. Right.
He's going to make it work. What was that experience like for you?
It's crazy what your mind figures out when you need to figure it out. So, like for example, when I was still working at Maccas and I had the wage, I'd send 50 DMs a day from my Instagram account.
Yep.
And so I'd do outbound to business owners. I'd try and get them on a call and then I'd try and close them. When I quit, I was like, okay, I need more volume. So I started a second page and then a third page, and I paid someone else to do outreach on the other 2 pages. So now I tripled my output. Now I was sending 150 messages a day. I tripled my calls. I tripled more opportunity. I tripled my money. And so the thought process was, let me just put myself in a position where I'll figure it out, as like vague as that is. And then your mind just finds ways. Like, if you have a surgery that you have to get or you're going to die and it's 10 grand, you'll find a fucking way. Like you don't logically think or know how you're going to do it until you're in that position. But I've just always had trust in myself that if I put myself in that position, I'll just find a way.
Yeah. People make enough so they're comfortable, but not enough so they can actually thrive. They stop there. That's really cool.
Yeah. And you learn what you're capable of when you're in those moments. Like every time I drain my bank account or I go into debt and I just force myself in a position to make it work, that's where I'm like, oh shit, you actually are capable. You can actually do this if you need to.
So was that that story, was that the biggest moment that you've had to just go all in, or was there another one that came later on?
That was the first. There were definitely others. I mean, I went into debt to like book a one-way flight to Thailand. I was in a relationship for 3 years. It was like my first girlfriend. She broke up with me and I was pretty sad. And so I did what any logical 22-year-old guy would do, and I bought a one-way flight to Thailand.
Yep.
And I had no idea how I was going to make it work. I didn't have much money in my bank account at the time, so I just used a credit card. I booked the flight, I booked the Airbnb. I was about $5,000 in debt on the credit card, and I was like, cool, let's find a way to make it work. And that was right around the time I started working with Zach Perner. And so we built that business, and it worked out from there. But yeah, that was the probably second most significant. There's been multiple other times, but those are the two main ones.
I love it.
So talk me through the mindset shift that Maccas Orlando had to go through in order that you no longer believe in order to be the person that you are now, to be the coach and to help people get out of those retail job positions to become the closer that you know they're capable to be.
I'd say 90% of it is self-belief. So when I was at Maccas, I had no self-belief. I just didn't... I mean, I had enough to get started, but nothing compared to what I have today. And it's the biggest thing, because if you don't believe that you can do it, you constantly self-sabotage in ways that you don't realize. So when I was working at McDonald's, like, I was shy, I was nervous, I wasn't that good at making friends. I didn't have much self-confidence, much self-belief, and sales forced me to develop that, because if you don't have that in sales, it's very hard for you to make money. And so because I just attached those values and those traits to making money, when I needed to make money, I like forced myself to develop those traits. So the biggest difference, I mean, there's a lot. There's self-belief, self-confidence. Those are probably the biggest ones, I'd say.
Yeah, so it's like your personal skills over any actual hard skill that you've developed through sales. It's just like just knowing that you're capable and knowing that you can do it and just backing yourself to in order to do it.
Most of it's mindset when you're starting out in sales. Like, I think the tactics come once you've already got an established base, and that's where you can go from like good to really good, or like great, is once you nail in those tactics and you really understand it. But the 80-20 is the mindset, and having the belief, having the confidence to show up, face rejection, not give up, get told no, not take it personally, move on to the next one. Like, I speak to so many guys where they're like, yeah, I applied to like 5 jobs. None of them got back to me. It's like, okay, does that mean you give up? Like, keep fucking going. What are you doing? Like, so yeah.
That's cool. So you're now in Thailand. I think you said you started a business, right? What was that journey like in Thailand? How far were you able to take it?
Yeah, so I started the business, not actually in Thailand. I started a month later. So we had the breakup. I went to Thailand. I spent about a month discovering myself, or whatever, you know, like whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, traveled. I was working. I just started the partnership with Zach. And then about a month later, I had an idea, which was, hey, it'd be cool if a bunch of closers around the world could meet up and have community and have events or have retreats. So I thought, okay, how can I do this? Well, I need to raise funds to make it happen. So I thought, okay, let me start a community and everyone can chip in $150 a month, and that can go towards, say, monthly events. So I had that idea. I pitched it to my story. I pitched it on Reels, and I had about like 10 people interested. I pitched them the idea by voice notes. I was like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. 10 people verbally said yes. They said, let me know when you launch it. I launched it, and only one person signed up, which was Anton, who's my first ever student. And my idea wasn't to be a sales coach. I just wanted to do these events. But he paid, and then we jumped on a Zoom call, and I was like, all right, well, what's happening? What are you doing? Like, how can I help you do better? And he said, yeah, I'm setting at the moment. I want to be a closer in like a year, you know, so I want to develop my skills. I was like, all right, well, we started working together. We started working on his skills, working to get him to be a closer. Within the first week, he referred me like 5 other New Zealanders. And so they all joined, but they all wanted the same thing. They all wanted training and coaching and role plays. The community was like a further down the track thing.
Yeah.
And then it just spiraled from there. Then they referred people, referred. And then we built up to about 30 people, and it became sales coaching. And now I do the retreats on top of that. So that happened in Vietnam about a month into my travels and started to develop. But I didn't have a plan to be a sales coach. It just it's what the people wanted, I guess. Like it just developed into that. So
Yeah. No, I think we're in a similar position as well, where like people want the community, but they also want to live up to their potential as well. And that gap of living up to their potential is often greater than just the community element. Because as soon as they find that, like the 5 people, right, then they're sort of comfortable in that area, and then they're looking to how can I expand. So that's probably what the sales coaching did for you. It's like, hey, I found like-minded people. Now how can I go and like achieve the dreams that I have, that safety net? How can I go and push it? So for you and your journey, when you transitioned from that, well, maybe not transition, or you went from the community element more to that sales coaching, what sort of journey did you have to go through from potentially where you were with just like a regular closer yourself to now being a coach for closers? What was that journey like for you?
it was really fun because you can be a good closer, but you get better when you start teaching. And because someone would ask me, what do you do when you get a thing about objection? And normally on my calls, I would just do it a certain way, but I didn't really think about it that consciously. So when someone asked me, I had to break it down into like digestible chunks that they could understand. And so then you learn like the front to back process of what you're doing, and you dissect it yourself. So it made me way better because I was forced to explain it to someone that didn't have my brain. And I had to think, okay, how can I get them to download my brain in the quickest, most efficient way possible? So that was a cool transition because I was still closing on Zach's offer and managing a sales team, and I was coaching as well. So I was training the guys that were on my sales team, and then I was also training guys on different offers. Like I was training guys selling real estate coaching. I was training guys that were selling fitness coaching. That were selling business coaching. I had one guy on a relationship offer, another on a trading offer. And so I had to break down the process in ways that applied to all of these different offers at the same time. So if anything, it just made me way better because I had to break it down in that way.
Makes sense. Because one of the, like, we've gone through this as well, is we've broken down what freedom for people in their 20s mean. I'd love to see if this resonates with you as well. Is like, people often say that they want to chase freedom, they want to achieve it, they want to be able to have it, but like, what the frick is actually freedom? Do you know what I mean? And the way we define freedom is there's 3 key words, right? The ability to protect your family, the community, and the future, right? Your ability to provide for the people that you care most about, and lead, to be able to give back, to empower, to mentor, to support others. And I think that's like the fundamental base level is what freedom is then built on. Without any of those 3 pillars, you can't actually create freedom. So for you, what is one of the do you have like a framework that you love most that you've been able to break down? It's like, hey, this is exactly what this skill means, or what you teach.
Like of the sales process?
Yeah, like the sales, like is there a framework or some sort of teaching that you've been able to download from your brain onto a piece of paper, and you give it to someone who's like, hey, that's exactly what it is?
Yeah. So I've done a lot of training myself, and so I give credit to a lot of my mentors. I mean, I learned from guys like Luke Badman, Tony Haddad, Matt Ryder. I learned from Laura Bruce. I learned from Johnny Anton, Jason Capital. I learned from a lot of guys. There's probably more. Michael Dunleavy as well. And I just kind of took the best from what I learned, and I just wanted to make it really simple. So I just break it down into close, if you want to put it into a framework. Okay. So the first thing is connect. So it's like, cool, where are they at right now? What's their current situation? So it's connect is number 1. Second thing is learn. So learn is just going deeper on that. Like, for example, if you're selling fitness coaching, just to make it easy, connect is like, cool, where are you at right now? What's your goal? Learn is like, okay, what have you been doing to get that goal? Are you going to the gym? What does your gym routine look like? What kind of foods are you eating? All that sort of stuff you learn. Then the next part is overview, which in my opinion is probably the most important part to prevent objections. So overview is where you really understand, how does this person think? What is their buying patterns? What's prevented them from solving this in the past? And you can go really deep there. So that's one of the deepest parts, is overview. After that, you've got solution, which is, what does their ideal world look like? What's the positive picture you can paint in their mind? What's their dream scenario? All the positive emotions associated with that. And then exhaust. And for me, exhaust is like, the negative of that. So them not getting to that positive future, them not getting so cute, them not getting to where they want to be. Like, what does that cost them? What would be the pain of that? So you exhaust it, and then you go into the presentation. So that's how I break it down. Close, connect, learn, overview, solution, exhaust.
Yeah, I guess is that like the main thing that you teach inside of the closers code, or is it just one of the frameworks?
That's the framework of like a sales call.
Yeah.
If I've got a closer that's sort of one call close, that's what I teach.
Yeah.
And then there's principles behind that. So the main principles are obviously like your intention, like how you show up to the call. A lot of people show up of like, how can I close this guy? Which is like, it serves you to a point, but like to get really good, it's got to come from a place of, okay, can I actually help this person? Do they actually need what I'm offering? There's also like not settling for crappy answers. So a lot of the time you might ask a question like, you know, what's got you looking into this now, right? You might try and get a bit of urgency there. And someone will say, oh, I've got more time now. And a lot of people will be like, okay, sweet. And they move on. It's like, all right, you've got more time now. So did you not have time in the past? Oh, no, like now school holidays, you know, now I can spend more time in the gym. Okay, well, what happens when you go back to school and you're not on school holidays anymore and you go back to work? Well, it's like you got to dig deeper, because if you don't solve it there before the pitch, that's what can lead to a lot of objections later. Pre-handling it before the pitch, because if you think about it in a prospect's mind, like post-pitch, that's when their resistance is going to be the highest, because you're offering something. Until you offer something, you've got all the leverage. So you're better off going deeper on the answers, the pain before the pitch.
Yeah, and it's about like, I guess it comes back to what you said at the very beginning, is being that human and connecting with another human, not just being that salesman.
Yeah.
Like understanding where they're at and how, like if the thing you have to offer actually helps them or not is the next step.
Yeah, 100%.
Talk me through objections on sales calls, like accepting objections, diffusing objections. Let's give some value there. How should you navigate objections if you were trying to approach sales from a business standpoint?
The first thing with objections is you've got to stay cool as a cucumber. Like, just stay chill, stay relaxed, because the minute you get frustrated, that's going to transfer to the prospect straight away. And if you think about the state that a prospect's in when they give an objection, they're in a state of denial. They're in a state of no. So before I like do any tactic, before I try and handle any objection, the first thing I want to do is change their state. So if they're in a state of no, how do I get them to a state of yes? How do I go from negative to positive? The first thing I would ask is, like, no stress, like whatever objection they give you, let's say it's think about it. No stress, before you think about it, like, does the program, the structure, does that actually align with what you want? That's the most important thing. So get them bought in on the program. They'll most of the time say yes. Yeah, it does. Now, a lot of people then move past that. I want to challenge. I want to get them to tell me why. No worries, before you go think about it, does this align with what you want? Yeah, it does. Okay, why does it though? Like, just from your perspective, what stood out to you? Get them to tell me all of the reasons they like the program. So then what does that do? They're physically speaking words out of their mouth that put them into a frame of, I like the program. So then when I've changed their state, then I can go into handling an objection. So if I'm teaching the bare bone basics, it's like, stay calm. I often smile when I'm handling objections. It's like, yeah, no stress. Like, just be cool, and then change their state straight away. Then you can go into handling the objection, which more tactics come into play.
Yeah, because it's like it's like exactly what you said, staying cool and being able to have a clear head when you're going into those sorts of conversations. So is there like a main objection that is like standard across sales as a whole that you focus on, or is it just like the principles behind each one? Like, is there an overarching thing there?
Yeah, I mean, the main objection is money. Because, like, in reality, if something was free, like, someone would just click join. Like, there's no reason they wouldn't. So it all boils down to money at the end of the day. So the way I teach it is, no matter what objection you get, you do what I just said. You change their state first. You get buy-in on the program. But then I just attack money. So if they're like, yeah, sounds good, Orlando, but I need to chat with my wife. Yeah, no stress. Get buy-in on the program. By the way, in terms of the money, like, does that actually fit within your budget at the moment? Or is it a case that, like, you want to do this, you just don't have the full investment? So I'm just going to attack money straight away. Then once I've handled money, if they're like, yeah, like, I've got the money, but, we got a shared bank account, or, I just got to check with her first, then I'll handle that. But I always go after money first, because that's really the objection that it boils down to at the end of the day.
And it's the certainty that they're chasing. At the end of the day, everybody wants to have the thing work out for you, but the way the world works, unfortunately, is you can't have certainty that something's going to work or get you a result before you actually do the thing.
100%.
So it's just from your confidence as the person who is selling the product to them, you've got to give them the certainty in their uncertainty that they're going to get what they want.
Yeah, and I also like to challenge their beliefs on certainty, because a lot of people think they need to have certainty before starting something. But the reality is you're never going to have 100% certainty unless it's in hindsight. Like, you'll never know if something was a good or a bad decision until the decision's happened and you've reaped the effects of it and you look back. And none of us can time travel, as far as I'm aware. So I'd like to reframe that it's like, hey, the most successful people in the world, do they always act when they know something's going to work? Or do they put themselves in the best position possible and then back themselves to make it work? And then I can get them to take ownership on their results and them winning. And it's empowering, because I truly believe anyone can succeed. It's down to them. And so because I live by that, I want to project that onto the prospects as well. And so then they can have certainty in themselves. And then it's like, it doesn't matter that you don't know if it's going to work, because you trust yourself.
Like that. Yeah. Do you do any, like, for Closers Code, is there any, like, what do you do pre-sale to get them in the right states? Like, is it in the marketing? Is it in the appointment setting? Like, what does that process look like so that when they're on the call, they are in that state to absorb the information?
Like, what do you do to get the prospect in that state, or the closer?
I want to know a little bit more of, like, because do you obviously sell closers cold? What do you do before they jump on a do they jump on a call with you, or what does that process look like?
Yeah, like in terms of like what they see, the process they go through before the call. Yeah, so typically they watch my content, they see me on Instagram, they see my YouTube videos. Like if someone's brand new to high ticket sales, I'll send them a few videos that educate them, because I think like there's a difference between being a good closer and then being a closer that's just like fighting an uphill battle. And it's like, I'll never want my guys to like fight an uphill battle unnecessarily. Like if a prospect doesn't even know who the person is that they're buying from, if the prospect doesn't even know what the business model is and how it works, I'm not expecting a closer to close that deal. So I want them to have a base level understanding, like who is the person, what do they do, how does the business model work? And then it's like, cool, they're thinking about doing it, then they jump on the close call. So for my process, they usually watch a lot of my Instagram. I mean, most of my guys are referred, so they usually just talk to their friends about it. But if it's someone that's like not referred, they watch my Instagram, they watch my YouTube. I send them 2 videos. I send them one that breaks down what high ticket sales is, and then I send them one that's got a few case studies of guys that I've worked with. And then from there, I jump on the call and go from there.
Talk us through your childhood and how that's kind of shaped the values into who you are today. Like, what was Orlando like as a kid? Yeah,
I mean, we moved quite a lot. Like, we really were gypsies, which explains why I'm a bit of a gypsy today. My mum and dad were never, like, stable. So, like, my mum battled with some mental health issues, and so they would split up, get back together, probably, like, twice a year, which led to a lot of moving. So, every single year we moved cities. I had to move new schools, make new friends, constantly changing. And sometimes I'd live with my mum, sometimes I'd live with my dad. I mean, there were points where, I'd be living with my mum in one city, and my dad, like my mum would kick him out of the house, and then he would like sleep in the car just so that he could like still be in the same city as me instead of like moving. So I think like seeing that, it just made me want to like become responsible for my own life. I don't know why I got that feeling, because other people I know have had similar experiences and they become a victim or they take it a different way. But I think I'm just lucky that I got exposed to like taking ownership and taking responsibility. And it forced me to grow up pretty quick, because I had 2 younger siblings as well. So I have a younger brother and a younger sister who's 10 years younger than me. So it forced me to kind of like, make breakfast for them, get them ready for school. Like I kind of did a bit of parenting, which made me mature a lot faster, I would say. And I think being the oldest, like if mum and dad were going through some stuff, naturally the responsibility fell on my shoulders. So I had that from probably like the age of 10. And I think I just kept that with me, where it's like everything just boils down to me at the end of the day. Yeah, does that answer your question? I can go on different paths, but yeah, that's the main gist.
I like to understand more about the person they were beforehand, because obviously as a sponge, when you're younger, from 0 to 8, it shapes all your attitudes, traumas, beliefs, values, everything moving into who you are. It's always good to get a feel for who that person was.
Yeah, I could probably go deeper on it and like learn more about myself, because I don't really know what sort of impact that stuff had on me. I mean, like when I was younger, I definitely had a lot of insecurities. Like I was like I never really got like accepted from women when I was in school. Like I used to get rejected a lot. I had like pimples all over my face. I had like a pizza face, people would say to me. I wore like nerdy glasses. I like was short. I was skinny. So like I had a load of insecurities as well. And who knows, maybe today is just like running away from the old me. I haven't gone super deep on it, but yeah, from 0 to 8, I don't know. Maybe moving around every year, having to make new friends, maybe that affected me in some way, but don't really know how.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, with Closers Cult, you've been all over the world even the last... I haven't seen you in Australia for how long? How long were you around the world for?
I mean, we've been traveling for the last 18 months, but I've been back in Australia every like 3 to 4 months, just for like a week or two.
Yeah. Like, where was your favourite place and why?
Ooh. That's actually a really tough question. I think, it depends. Like, they all serve different purposes. Like, the one that stands out to me is Malta, because it was the first place in Europe that I went to. And just the vibe of Malta is very me. You're by the beach, you're in the sun constantly, you know, you're swimming by rock pools. Like, I love that. That's when I'm at my happiest, when I'm in the sun just swimming. So I really like Malta, but would I live there? No, because it's more of like a, you know, happiness destination, I think. Then you got places like Dubai, which I like, but it is a bit soul sucking. Like, it's ultra competitive and you constantly feel worthless because like everyone else is making more money than you, but it forces you to make more money. So like in January and February, I'm probably going to spend a bit of time in Dubai so that I can feel worthless and make more money. But then I'll go back to Bali to then reignite my soul again and feel whole. So Bali is probably one of my top places as well. Life is almost too good in Bali, so I have to force myself to leave because it's so easy. It's so cheap. You can get everything delivered to you. Like, there's all these amazing people. There's all these beautiful distractions. So Bali's a top place as well. London was like way exceeded my expectations. I thought I was going to get stabbed and like get my arm chopped off like as soon as I walked outside with a Rolex, but like I didn't, which was lucky. But the vibe of London was cool, had a lot of energy. The buildings are beautiful. But yeah, I mean, Malta was cool. I really liked Italy. I don't have an answer. I'm just running through them all. I don't have an answer.
Just listing them off.
Probably Bali.
Yeah.
Bali's always got like a special place in my heart because I've done mushrooms there a few times, so I think I just have like a connection to the land. Yeah.
Any particular island?
Just the main one.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't been to any of the other islands in Indonesia.
What's the future travel plans look like for you?
So we've got we're back to Brisbane today for a week. I'll catch up with family, see them, and then we're off to Melbourne. So I call her a mentor, Brooke Triplett. She runs She Sells, so she does the same thing as me, but for women. She's got an amazing community. She's got over 1,000 women. She helps get into sales and live life on their own terms. So I'm going to her gala that she's got, where she's going to have like 300 people there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So we're going to Melbourne for a week. I'll see a few of my students there as well. And then after Melbourne, we're off to Thailand. We've got an event with Zach. So I'm going to go teach some sales there and see some of the clients there. And then after that, we're back to Dubai for F1. And then I think we're going to try and spend Christmas in Europe somewhere. Maybe Poland. I want to go somewhere religious. Yeah. Somewhere in the snow, somewhere religious.
Cool.
It's my first Christmas away from family, so.
There you go. Just gonna continue focusing on the business, are you?
Yeah, a lot of people think that I get really distracted or I don't work, but I've struck a really good balance, I feel, where like during the day, pretty much all I do is work. Like I wake up, I don't brush my teeth, I don't shower, I just get on my laptop straight away. Like that's just what works for me. And I'll work for like 2 hours. I'll freshen up, hit the gym, whatever, come back, do some more work. And if I go out on a weeknight, it's maybe for dinner, but like that's about it. And then just on Saturday and Sunday, I'll explore the place that I'm at. So it's basically how I would if I was living in the Gold Coast in one place. But the only difference is every Sunday, I pretty much pack my bags. So
yeah.
So
why is it that you do what you do? Not the one that's on like your marketing head of the business. Like, what is the true reason you do what you do?
Yeah. So when I started Closers Cult, it was not to help people. It was not to make an impact. I didn't have like an impact statement or anything. It was, I've got some skills, I've got a bit of a network, let me see how I can monetize this. Let me make some more money. That's just what it was. Like, I don't know. I don't really believe people when they say they just do it for impact, in my opinion. So I started it for money. Now, what keeps me going today, though, is like, yes, obviously money is part of it. Money's part of the world. It's how you live the life you want to live. Like, of course, it's not a bad thing to want to make more money. So part of it's that. But also, when I see my students in person, when I see Ellis that's 19 years old and makes more than any of his friends, when I see Anton that's been able to travel the world for the last 18 months, pay for his girlfriend for everything they do together, like if she needs a surgery, if she needs an appointment, he just pays for it, he covers it, because he's the man and he's making money and he can live life on his own terms. Like that shit fires me up. When I've got guys like Sam that was working construction and was like dreaming of making 5K a month to quit his job and just not have to go to work, and was literally giving me objection after objection because he was like fearful that it would work and he didn't know if it could work. And then 3 months later, he does $15,000 in commissions and he's quit his job and he's working like 6 hours a day. Like that shit makes me happy now. So it didn't start off with that, but that's what it's evolved into. So part of it's that, and it's also my own potential. Like I just know that there's more retarded people than me making way more money, helping way more people because they're just doing the right things. And so I just feel a moral obligation to get to that point as well. It's like, if there's retards making all this money, working with all these people, why the fuck can't I do it? So it's also that. I'm kind of pissed off that I'm not there.
I fucking love it. I love it.
Fueling the fire inside.
Yeah, like I actually get, it's like a good pissed off.
Yeah.
But like I'll see competitors or I'll see other sales gurus and like I get pissed off. I'm like, no, like I'm better. Like I can do better. So why don't I?
That's like what we're doing, what we're building. Just like genuinely pissed off that we get people so inspired and they go and join an MLM and just fucking sell their life away. It's like
It doesn't even help them.
it doesn't actually help
Yeah.
them. So it's like you basically start questioning, is what I'm doing actually doing, or am I leaving them worse off?
Oh yeah.
So then it's your obligation to create something to give them that direction that they're after.
100%. Like, I'm not one to talk bad on competitors if the competitor's good, but ABC, for example, you guys fucking suck. And so every time someone joins ABC, my heart stings because I'm like, fuck, another soul has been lost. And so every time someone has a sales call with them and they join me, I'm like, sweet, one for the good guys. So I also want to protect these young guys from just seeing people post about, oh, I fly business in Dubai and, you know, it's paid for by sales, when in reality, they're making all their money from referring people to ABC. It's just a big fucking, you know what, the big building in Egypt. So every time I prevent someone from doing that, I'm like, sweet, let's go.
Yeah.
That also drives me.
That's interesting because you're on the forefront of sales. Obviously, high ticket sales also gets a bad rap because of those MLMs with things like the water filters and all the stupid products that people end up selling. How do you try and, let's say you save somebody who was there previously, ends up coming and finds a home at the Closers Cult. How do you try and unlearn some of the things that they've been taught to try and rewire their brain?
Well, I've had multiple guys like come from ABC and then they join and they're like, oh, that's different to what I learned here. And I just say to them blunt, I say, unlearn everything you've learned from them. We're starting from scratch. So I just say how it is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So how is there? Yeah, what sort of like you touched on it, but like let's really dig deeper. Like, what are the results that you've been able to give people? Like, what are the numbers? How many of the results that you
How
had
many do you
to
want me
share?
to rattle off?
Dude,
brother?
share it, bro.
Right, it's
Share it.
crazy. I mean, we were just in Slovenia. I was seeing one of my students, Jan. Last month he cracked 20K USD in commissions, and he started off at 3K when he joined me about 5 months ago, and he's like the richest guy in Slovenia at like 23 years old. His girlfriend looks at him with admiration because of what he's done. Like, that warms my spirit. You got Ellis, who I mentioned, 19 years old, like no sales experience. 4 months later, it was 15K. Luke is probably the top earner in the group. We've been working together for about a year. He went from like 3 to 4K a month on a fitness offer. He did $60,000 last month. That's managing a sales team and also closing himself. So kind of doing what I used to do. Anton, obviously one of my first students. I've got guys like Jax, he's 18, he hit 10K. Zen hit 16K. They're both brothers, traveling there in Medellin now, in Colombia. Who else? I got Sam Roberts, went from construction to 15K a month. I've got guys like Devin, he ran an agency and he was doing like 2K a month, and then he did 20K in sales, just like without doing fulfillment, without having to chase clients, just selling. So there's probably way more I'm forgetting. Oh, Diego. Fuck, I love Diego. Diego and I used to work at McDonald's 5 years ago.
Shit.
And he watched me for about 4 years online.
Yeah.
And then finally, I remember I was in Miami that week, and it was like 3 a.m. Miami time. And we're messaging back and forth. And I was like, let me just call this guy. Like, we worked at Maccas together. We went to school together. He's in the grade below me. And I called him, and he was like, bro, look, like, I'm going to be honest. I'm not doing well financially. Like, but I've seen what you've done. Like, I want to do it. Just like, how can we do this? So we sorted out a plan for him financially to help him get in, learn the skills so he can start making more money. His first full month in sales, second month total working with me, he did $20,000 in commissions. And he went from McDonald's to that. Like, and he's on an offer where like there's 100 plus reps and it's a fitness offer. It's nothing crazy. He just put in the fucking work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably way more I'm forgetting, but just to rattle them off the top of my head, those are the main
Hey,
ones.
when you can do that, you know that there's results there.
Yeah.
Like there's
Oh, those are all closed as well. I also have appointment setters. So like Levi did $22,000 as an appointment setter. He's not even closing deals. Tristan did 15K a month as an appointment setter. Storm is from South Africa. He bought a one-way ticket to New Zealand. And we just did a case study with him last week. And last month he cracked 15,000 in commissions. And he pays half his salary to his dad each month in South Africa. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's fucking awesome.
Fine. Yeah.
So there's such a lack of direction when people say, you know, oh, I want to learn sales, I want to get into appointment setting, and then they end up just, again, online, they end up finding somebody like you. But people looking for that direction in that, or they find an MLM, like people who look for that direction, where is the best place to go to try and get connected to the different businesses to sell their high ticket offers? Like, what is the best way to do that?
So the best way to find an offer is when everyone zigs, you have to zag. What is everyone doing in the job market right now? They go on Seek, they go on Facebook job boards, and they like maybe Google and like maybe email a few companies. That's pretty much it. And so everyone who wants to get into remote sales is doing the same thing. So if you do what everyone else does, you're going to get the same results, which is fuck all, especially if you've got no experience. So what I teach my guys to do is, sounds super simple, and oftentimes simple scales, but people overlook it.
Yeah.
Network. Like, it's not who you know, but it's who knows you. Get more people to know you and see you and meet you and talk to you. And when they feel your conviction and they feel, look, I may not have any experience, but that means I have a name to make for myself in this industry. I'm going to work my ass off until I'm the top guy at your company. Recruiters, anyone who's hiring a sales rep, they will choose that over a cocky douchebag that's got all the experience and all the skill. But not everyone is doing that. A lot of people are doing the old way. They're messaging business owners on Instagram using like, would you be opposed to hiring a closer? It's like the whole opposed line in the DMs, it's been used and abused more than Bonnie Blue. And like people just keep fucking doing it thinking it's going to work. It's like, no, do things differently. So yeah, network is the main way.
Or the people who reach out say, I'll work for free for do this. All I ask is for like the resources and stuff. And then once afterwards, after I deliver the results better than you thought, then you offer me like, that's an age-old tale. That's what everybody says to do. Like we had a podcast with Ryan Tuckwood the other day.
Yeah.
He's like, the amount of people that reach out just wanting like experience to give me free stuff. It's like, deliver me value first and I'll see if that's something that I'll actually entertain. Instead of trying to go from a position of, I don't have anything to give, but I want to learn everything.
Yeah.
That's just a liability for me to deal with. I know it's still a great opportunity for you, but it's a liability for me.
Yeah.
Create some kind of value which will make me feel more inclined to give you an opportunity.
Yeah, and you're just fighting an uphill battle from the start when you try and get a role like that. Because if you think about it, from the first minute of that interaction, you're chasing them.
Yeah.
You're the one that has to prove yourself to them. And so you want to be the guy that when a business owner says, hey guys, we're hiring another sales guy, do you know anyone? They go, oh yeah, I met this guy at the Forge. He's like really well put together, like speaks well. He wants to get into sales. Like, do you want me to connect you with him? You want to be that guy, because how much better is a referral from one of your current sales guys to the company than some schmuck that's in your DMs trying to prove himself? That's
like Jack Trowbridge. I saw he was on your thing yesterday.
Yeah.
So I met him through Forge Trail Run Club. I connected him to Luke Batten.
I
was like, oh, well, Luke's killing it. He's over in Thailand at the moment doing remote closing. That's what he was looking to get into. And I said, I'll connect you to Luke and then he'll probably help you out and give you some cool insights. So it's cool that he's found you as well, which is pretty epic.
Yeah, and Jack's on a really good offer. I was speaking to him about it yesterday. He's on a very solid offer. And that came from a referral, not a job application on Seek. So,
I love it. So what's next for Closers Cult? Where are you going to take it? How are you going to grow it? What's the future plans?
We're about to scale pretty hard. We just started running ads this month. And what I've realized is that the bigger the community gets, it's better for everyone involved because everyone's learning to network and to build their circle. If you think about it, if you got 10 guys doing that, there's only so big that the network and the butterfly effect can be. But if you got 100, 200, 1,000 guys that are all building their own networks, their own like mini cults, then like they can all refer each other to roles and it becomes an ecosystem. So now what I'm trying to build is that ecosystem where it just runs effortlessly and they don't even need to go outside of Closers Cult to get referred to a role. I mean, they can, but everything I want to just be in there. So that's coming. And we're also forming a ton of relationships with business owners on the other end, where if you're a business owner watching, I don't charge placement. There's a lot of recruiters that'll charge you 10 grand, 5 grand, or pay on performance to, hey, I'll give you a sales guy, you pay me this money. I don't charge $1 because I want to make it so no-brainer for businesses to come to me to the point where I have too many offers to give to my guys. Like one of my biggest issues right now is I don't have enough salespeople to give to these business owners because not only are my guys out there networking, but I'm on the ground traveling every fucking week, going to these events, meeting people like you guys, connecting with all these business owners. They see how I present and they're like, hey, do you have guys that are trained by you? And so I just don't have enough guys right now. So I need to fill that void. So we're scaling pretty fast. And I think this month, end of the year, and especially like January, February, we're going to get a lot bigger. Yeah.
So who in your network would you like to see on the Future Leaders podcast next?
Ooh, I'm trying to think who's in Gold Coast or Queensland. Who do I know in Queensland? It's so weird. Like I grew up here and now I feel like my network is all like overseas now. I mean, Zach Perner would be pretty cool. He'd be pretty cool to have on. He hasn't been on many podcasts.
Yeah, because I saw him around like all the time. Probably like a year and a half ago. I saw him everywhere with his fitness coaching and his meal stuff. And What's his business again?
So he was obviously like super successful as a fitness influencer.
Yeah.
So through brand deals, fitness coaching, he just like took that audience and that brand and then monetized it. He's also got a clothing brand called Slouch Potato, which is like really cool. So now what he's been doing for the last 2 years or so is teaching other people that are interested in fitness to do the same. So primarily through fitness coaching, but we also have some influencers that just want to build their brand and get sponsored. So if there's like personal trainers that work at a gym and they're not getting paid much, they're working like, I know personal trainers, they start super early, they finish super late with a big gap in between. It's very inefficient. And so a lot of people are realizing that, hey, they want to travel, they want to work from their laptop, they want to coach online instead. There's a lot more people like me that are traveling and need online coaching because we're not always physically in one spot. And so he's teaching guys and girls to build their own fitness business and basically do what he did for a decade. So he's got a mentorship called the Social Blueprint. I mean, they get some killer results. We had a guy that was working FIFO for about 1.5 years trying to build his fitness coaching business. His name's Oliver. We've hung out a lot in Bali. And the best month he ever did on his own was $2,000. 1 month into 4 weeks, first month with Social Blueprint, he did $8,000. I believe the second month he did 15, and I think the third month he did $23,000. And now his girlfriend is doing the same thing now. They are both living in Thailand, and they travel in the world, and they got this online business now.
Epic.
Both quit FIFO.
That's sick. Yeah.
That's another little tangent. One really important thing for a closer is get on an offer that you actually believe in. Like, that's not even my offer, but I have so much certainty selling it or referring it to Zach because I know that we get people killer results and I know it's a good company. So a lot of the times closers will just get on an offer because it's the only one they can get. They don't have many choices. So they'll sell something they don't really give a fuck about. They'll sell something that has bad fulfillment, bad service delivery, and then they can't have full conviction. So that's another hack is like, just get on an offer you actually believe in. And that's going to help you a lot more than selling a scam.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Or an MLM,
Yeah.
Cool. So for those listening at home, where can everybody find you?
So just Orlando.Santucci on Instagram. I'm the chill closer, as I've self-titled. And same on YouTube as well. So it's Orlando and then Santucci, Santucci. And just have a look at my free stuff, honestly. Like, I have so many guys that are like, there's, for example, on my YouTube, there's hour-long breakdowns of me closing a 15K, a 24K deal, and it's my own sales call, and they can just see me break it down step by step. So then I'm not just some short guy with a big nose yapping on a podcast. Like, you can actually just watch me do it.
Cool.
So I'd say that's a good place to start.
Orlando Santucci, everybody.
Thank you.